Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Welcome to our SAP SD demo sessions where we are going to cover how to start your career as SAP SD consultant. Okay, so let me go and first introduce Rohan. So Rohan is coming from the background of 15 plus years of SAP SD experience. So he is also working into one of the Sastrageek projects also. So Rohan is having a very intense experience on SAP SD. And he has already trained in the previous batch of SAP SD also. He has provided a training. He has given the corporate trainings with us also. More than 100 plus consultant he has already trained. And we have a very good feedback for the Rohan, right? 15 plus corporate trainings also he has completed and he has delivered. And the most important thing, he's always being a working consultant. We try every trainer should be a working consultant so that they have all the business knowledge, actual knowledge, which they can share that in actual business scenario, what are the things happening, and they can give you more and more business scenario and practical knowledge other than कि भैया हाँ कंपनी कोड बनाना है सेल्स ऑर्ग बनाना है but why we need to create sales org, how many distribution channel, how many divisions, why two division not three divisions, what will impact if we go with the single division. Those are all questions people are not able to answer. They know how to create a division, what is division, but when you start questions whether for this scenario you will create three division or one division, what will happen if one division is there, what will happen three divisions are there. People said कि ये तो business पे depend करता है. It does not depend on business. It's all consulting questions. Depends on the consultant, how well you guide your business, right? So Rohan has that much of enriched experience. And apart from that, from core, he is a trainer. He is a passionate about sharing the knowledge. That's another thing we check when we try to bring a trainer. They should passionate about sharing the knowledge. And all these capabilities Rohan has. With this, Rohan, over to you. Let me check if you have access. Okay, I'm giving you the co-host access. And now I will be answering. You have questions, I will be answering them over the chat. Rohan, can you let me know if you're able to speak?
Yes, thanks, Parminder. I'm able to unmute myself now.
Thank you, Rohan. Over to you. And all the people, they don't have a unmute access. So they would be answering your questions over the chat if you ask anything to them. And then once we cover the curriculum, we'll ask if anybody has question, they will raise hand and then only we'll unmute them.
Sure, sounds good.
I'm stopping my video and sharing. You can share your screen.
Yeah. Okay, very good evening to everyone. And thanks, Parminder, for the introduction you've given about me. So I'll quickly speak about myself too before we get started. As Parminder said, I have about 15 years of experience in different domains. I worked in a chemical sector, in retail, pharmaceutical, discrete manufacturing, FMCG, and off late I'm working on the medical equipment sector. So there's different sectors. I have done, I think, approximately about 10 different implementations end to end. And I've also done support and rollouts, upgrades, different kinds of projects in my last 15 years journey. So I would look forward to sharing my experience. It's very difficult to share everything within the 40, 50 hours of training, but whatever I'm able to, I will try to explain everything with live examples and in every particular concept that I talk about. So with that, let's get started. We're going to talk about. I'm not going to go in very detailed level since it's only a demonstration. We will be talking about what the SAP SD module is about, and we will see a few transactions in SAP on how the SD flows work out so that you can have a feel of the module. So with that, let's get started. So before we get into SAP SD module, I just wanted to give a quick high-level definition of what an ERP is. So I hope everyone has heard about what an ERP is, right? So SAP is known as an ERP package. So ERP basically stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So you have the definition in the word itself, Enterprise Resource Planning. So it's we do a planning of all the resources within a particular enterprise. So enterprise is nothing but an organization or a business in layman terms. So a particular business will have different departments. So if you try to visualize, if you intend to start a company, or if you see a company which is manufacturing something, any particular product, let's say you talk about an iPhone, Apple company. If an Apple or if an iPhone has to be manufactured, the company will first have to plan about a product. So you don't directly get the finished product, right? So you first need to plan for what are the different components that go into an iPhone. My case, the LED screen, the touchpad, camera, the different components which go in. So we need to procure the raw materials first. So the casing might start with some kind of a resin. So different kinds of resins are brought, they're melted, they're amalgamated, made into a particular compound, and that is molded and made into the case. Then I have the LED. So all of these components need to be procured. They have to be manufactured. Then we do packaging of the product. Then we sell the product, and once we sell it, we need to ship it to the destination. And once the product reaches the customer, we need to collect money from the customers. Not everyone pays immediately. There's different payment terms. Some people pay immediately if it's an online sale, but if it's a business to business sale, it can happen. The realization can happen 30 days later, 60 days later. So there's different uh, things to it if we have to sell a particular product. So an ERP is a package where all of these things are tracked in one system. Okay, so that is what is enterprise resource planning. So all of these things which we spoke about, the procurement, manufacture, sale, distribution, finance, all of these are resources within a particular enterprise which we plan in a particular software system, which is called as the ERP software or an ERP package. Okay, so that is the definition of an ERP, and we use an ERP system to run the business. All right, and different examples of ERP packages are SAP, Oracle, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, and there's many more ERP packages, but the standout ERP package among all is SAP. So when we go to detailed trainings, we will be teaching you as to why SAP is different from the others, how SAP is different, what its architecture is, how the architecture makes SAP different to all the other ERP packages. So we're going to talk about all of those in detail. So I will move on for now. Why do we need an ERP? Like we just spoke, uh, we need a consolidated package to run the entire business, and by doing that, the productivity of the organization increases. So when I'm planning everything in detail in one single system, I would know where my outflow is going, where my inflow is coming from, and everything will be tracked. I would have a visibility of how my sale is happening in a particular country or in a particular region. I would know to which store I need to send inventory, when I need to send. So I will be always prepared. So it's going to increase my productivity. It'll help me plan my inventory and production and sale in an appropriate way. It gives me deeper insights of what markets are doing well, what markets are not doing well, where I need to focus. So I would get all those insights from an ERP package. It gives me an accelerated reporting because everything is lying in one single tool. So I can get my reports. I mean, all my reportings will be on my fingertips. So be it dashboard reporting or my day-to-day reporting, all of those are available within SAP as my ERP. Uh, then, if you talk about the fourth point, it lowers my risk because I'm aware of what my market trends are, where I need to focus more, where I need to um, procure my inventory from, or where I need to dispatch my inventory. I would have a clear visibility of all of those. Uh, so it would keep me aware of what the market risks are, and it would insulate me against the market risks. And the fifth point is it simplifies my IT infrastructure. So all of you must be aware that having an IT infrastructure is a cost to the company. And one of my projects when I was doing Volvo cars for Sweden, in Sweden, they had about 49 different IT products that were merged when we implemented SAP. So they got rid of 49 different licenses, 49 different products, because all of those processes were present in SAP, and SAP was able to handle all of those. So we would have a simpler IT architecture and a landscape, and improved agility. I would be always aware of what is happening in my organization, what is happening with my products, and I would be always prepared for any kind of scenario. So that's the advantage. So these are all the advantages of having an ERP, and in particular SAP. Uh, so I would just give you one interesting fact. As we go on, maybe you can read this later. You can just type the Enron debacle or Enron scandal on Wikipedia to understand why it is so important to have a proper ERP. Now, Enron was a company which was, I think, in started in around 1985, if I'm not wrong, and 1990 to 1999 were its peak years, where its revenues increased 300%. But then in 2001, it filed for bankruptcy. It was a company which was having about $64 billion in revenue in 90s. So we could imagine what if we extrapolate that to current market value, it could be way higher. So in the 90s, so around the year 2000, its valuation was around $64 billion. And a company of that scale has gone bankrupt because of accounting frauds and malpractices by the associates. But with SAP, the advantage is, all these things can be taken care of and handled in an appropriate way, which is why SAP is also the market leader that it is today. I could very boldly go ahead and say that there is no ERP package in market today that can stand anywhere close to SAP. So with that, I will move on to our module for discussion today, which is the sales and distribution module. So what is SAP sales and distribution? Again, like most of you know, SAP has got, we spoke in the previous slides as well that SAP is an ERP package, an enterprise resource planning package, which has got different departments and different modules. So we have a module for procurement, we have a module for finance, we have a module for manufacture, we have a module for sales and distribution, we have a module for transportation. So there's different modules. And irrespective of the number of modules, there are 4 core modules in SAP, which is predominantly my SD, which is sales and distribution, materials management, production, and finance. These are considered to be the core modules of SAP. And no matter what modules come and go, these are going to be like evergreen modules. So they're here to stay. As long as SAP exists, we're going to have the SAP sales and distribution module. So coming to the definition of what this module is it is part of the logistics module, and it helps to manage the businesses. It helps businesses to manage their selling processes, the way they distribute the product, the way they ship the products to the customer. It then helps in maintaining the customer relationship. So when we talk about customer relationship, it could be how I'm selling my products, how I'm shipping it, am I shipping it on time, or is it getting delayed, how I bill my products. So all of these things are managed by the sales and distribution module. Okay, and the SD module is integrated with all the other core modules of SAP. So which are my finance module, my controlling, materials management, production planning, and so on. So with this definition of SD, I would like to move on to what are the different components that are present in SD modules. I will not talk about all the components, but the major components in SD are, we have something called as a master data. So basically, the data within SAP is divided into two broad classifications: master data and transactional data. So we're not talking about that here, but we're talking about the components of the module itself. So when I say master data here, we're talking about my customers, materials, and I mean, these are the predominant master data that we talk about. Then we have a second sub module, so sub module of SD, which we call as basic functions. So basic functions are like the backbone for SD module. So within this, we have different concepts like my pricing, how I want the pricing to be determined for a particular customer, how I want to calculate the price, how I do my calculation and levying of different components of pricing is all configured in this particular concept. Then we have something called as an availability check. Availability check is also referred to as an ATP logic predominantly, although we have others. But availability check is when I have to check if I'm able to fulfill the requirement of a particular order. So when a customer asks me for a particular product for a particular quantity, am I able to fulfill it? If not, by when can I replenish and confirm the product to the customer is what availability check is all about. Then we have another concept called transfer of requirements, where we transfer every requirement that is created in sale to production. We have revenue count determination, output, and so on. There are different other concepts that we will touch upon in detail as we progress during the course. Then the third major module is the sales module. So within sales module, we have different concepts like defining my document types, my sales order types, my item categories that go in a particular sales document, and there's different other sub configurations within that. Then we have a shipping module, which deals exclusively about how I create my deliveries, how I create my handling units within a particular delivery, how I ship it out. So that is not exactly shipping, but how I pick up my materials, how I package it. So that is what shipping is all about. Then we have a sub module called as transportation. Transportation talks about how I determine the route, what route a particular delivery has to take to reach the destination, which is the quickest route it must take. How do I load the inventory onto a particular truck or a transport medium? That's all about transportation. Then we have the billing module within SD, where we talk about how we bill the customer, whether it is an invoice, whether it's a debit memo, or if it's a credit memo. There's different types of billings that we do. We have intercompany billings. So all of these things fall under the billing module. And finally, we have the electronic data interchange, which is a broader umbrella. It's also referred to as EDI. It's more about interfacing data from SAP SD module to third-party systems or different other SAP systems as well. So these are the major modules that we will be covering as part of the SAP sales and distribution module. So these are the major components that are available within SAP's SD module. So any questions before I move on to the flow diagram? Okay, let me see if anyone has any questions. Let me know. Otherwise, I will move on. Okay, so I'll take that as a no. And okay. So now we're next going to talk about the OTC or the sales and distribution flow diagram. So the SD module flow is also referred to as order to cash. And order to cash has an acronym which we call as OTC. So they're all the same, whether it is OTC or order to cash or the SD module flow. They all mean the same. So here we have a high-level flow diagram or a simple flow diagram where the process starts. So I would want you to visualize as we talk through this flow diagram. So if you think about a particular customer wanting to buy a product, so what they would do, it starts with an inquiry. The customer has an inquiry to make So they ask for the details of the product. They ask for what its pricing could be, by when it could be delivered. So the different components that a customer would ask in an inquiry. So the process would begin with an inquiry when a customer asks. So this request you see here is coming from a customer in the form of an inquiry, which we can capture as a document in SAP. And in reference to the inquiry, we create a quotation within SAP. So the quotation will address all the questions that a customer would ask as part of the inquiry. And the quotation, if the would be sent to the customer. And once the customer agrees to the quotation that we have sent, we translate or we transform the quotation to a sales order. Okay, there's a parallel flow where we can directly start with a contract. If it's a repeat customer, I don't necessarily have to go through a quotation process or an inquiry process. He's my regular customer. So I would directly get into a contract with a customer. And in reference to the contract, I can create my sales order. Okay, so a sales order is nothing but an order that we create within SAP. SAP calls it as a sales order. So once we create the sales order, we send a confirmation back to the customers, which is represented as the order confirmation in this flow. And once the sales order is created, the sales order contains details like what are the different products that I'm selling, what are the different quantities, what are its pricing components, and by when will I deliver each of these products. So all of these details will be present in the sales order. So now, once a sales order is created, we create a outbound delivery document within SAP. So what is an outbound delivery? My sales order can have 100 line items, but all these 100 line items are not available today. Today, I'm able to ship out only 5 products. So just all of you might have placed orders on Amazon. So if you go to this Amazon website and when you place orders, you see that if you've selected multiple products, not all products are shipped at the same day, right? Certain products are delivered the same day. Certain products would be sent or shipped out 2 days later, and certain other products can be shipped out 5 days later, right? So that shipping out of products on different days is what we refer to as an outbound delivery. Okay, so outbound delivery document is a subsequent document to a sales order, which talks about what are the different products. So again, going back to the earlier example, if there's 100 orders, 100 products within my sales order, I'm dispatching 5 of those products right away. So I will create an outbound delivery document for those 5 products. 2 days later, I'm shipping 50 products. So I will create a delivery document for the remaining 50 products in reference to the sales orders, in the reference to the sales order. And the balance 45 products are dispatched on the 7th day. So I will create a third outbound delivery document for the balance 45 products, which will be my third outbound delivery document. All right. And once I create my delivery document, I will raise an invoice for the products that I have dispatched. If you think about a B2B scenario or a business to business scenario, so do not visualize from a business to customer, but if you visualize from a business to business scenario. So what is B2B scenario? A B2B scenario is basically when a business is buying from another business. So think about a pharmaceutical company. All right. We as end users, we buy from a pharmacy shop, or we go to a medical shop or a pharmacy and we buy from there. But does the pharmacy manufacture the medicines? No. The pharmacy gets, so if you talk about MedPlus or Apollo Pharmacy, they don't manufacture the products. Apollo Pharmacy carries products of Sun Pharma, they carry from Ranbaxy, they have products of Zydus Cadila, Reckitt Benckiser, different pharmaceutical companies, right? So the pharmaceutical companies get the products from distributors. Distributors get it directly from the company. All right. So here the distributors, pharmacies, they're called as businesses. And they are buying from the manufacturer who is referred to as OEM or original equipment manufacturer. So sale between OEM and distributors or, subsequent stockists, super stockists, they're all called as B2B sale. And we as end consumers buying it from a business is referred to as a B2C scenario. Okay, so you will start getting used to all of these terminologies. They might sound a little hi-fi right now, But as we keep progressing, there's going to be new terminologies, and I wanted to introduce them in the demo class itself, which is why I just wanted to introduce these acronyms and terminologies for you. So when we talk about B2B scenarios, they would want an invoice to be raised only for the product that is dispatched. Although my sales order is created for 100 products, they might want an invoice only for whatever the delivery document is created. So I have created 3 different delivery documents. So they will say, give me 3 different invoices. I do not want a single invoice for 100 products. So there's different permutations and combinations that can happen. So all of these things we will be covering as part of the billing process. So that is nothing but my invoice creation. And with this, once I create my invoice, I give the invoice to my customer and the customer will make the payment. So how the payment is made, how the receivables happen is all finance. So that's a different module where finance takes care of how they need to recover money from the customer. But the sales module ends here. It starts with the inquiry process and ends with creating the invoice. So these blocks that you see here are the major processes within a sales and distribution module. Any questions before I go to the next flow diagram, which is a little more detailed? Okay, I see that there's no questions, so I will move on to the next flow diagram. So this is a little more blown up image of the previous one where we have more processes. So like I said, it starts with an inquiry, goes on to a quotation. We have a sales order. Then we can have something called as a scheduling agreement, which is also part of SD module. Scheduling agreement is when I get into a contract with a particular customer and the customer says, I need 10,000 units of a particular product, but I do not need the 10,000 units at one shot. Send me 1,000 units on month one, 1,000 units on second month, 1,000 units on third month, and so on. So we create schedules for that. We create a scheduling agreements with schedules on when I need to deliver how much quantity of which particular product. Okay, and then we create release orders, or we can directly create delivery in reference to scheduling agreement. So like we see in the flow diagram, we have the sales order and we create the delivery document. We do the goods issue, which is nothing but I'm shipping the inventory out of my warehouse. And a shipment document, so just get familiar with the terminologies. As we progress in the training, we would go detailed in a detailed way with each block as to what they mean. What is a inquiry process? What is quotation? What is a contract? What is a sales order? What are the different details they contain? Why do we have to create these? What's the benefit of creating them? What's the disadvantage if you do not create them? So we're going to talk about all of these details in the subsequent classes. But for now, just get an understanding of what the flow diagram looks like. All right. So shipment is nothing but how I'm transporting. Is this going to be a full truck load, or is if is it going to be a less than truckload? Is this going by rail? Is this going by ocean? By what means I'm shipping out the inventory? That is what the shipment processing is. So this is more of to do with a transportation module. So we would not be covering much on the shipment. We will be talking more about delivery processes. Transfer order is a scenario which we would have if we have a warehouse management solution. We would not be touching this concept either, but I just wanted to give you an understanding that transfer order is a process that we would have when we have a warehouse management solution installed. And then once we have the delivery, we do the billing and we have the accounts receivables. So with this, I end my presentation. And once again, a call for any questions before I give you a demonstration on the SAP system. Okay, so I see there's no questions. Sorry, looks like I just got logged out from my remote desktop. Okay, so this is how the SAP screen looks like. So this is the login pad. And once you click on this, you would be asked to enter the user ID and password. And once you key in the user ID and password, this is the screen that you would see, which is also called as the easy access screen. It's called easy access because you have the menu tree here and you can navigate to whatever particular screen you want. So for us, like I said, SD is a module within logistics. So within logistics, you will find sales and distribution. And within sales and distribution, we spoke about different sub modules that are present. The master data, sales, shipping and transportation, bill of services, billing, credit management, sales information system. So this is become obsolete now. There are customers who use this, but they must be on very ancient methodology. But other than that, nobody is using sales information systems today. And before we get started, one fact I would want to tell all of you is uh, why it is important to become an SAP consultant now, why this is the right time. You can actually Google this out as well. Don't take me by my word. Go onto Google and type why it is the best time to be an SAP consultant now. The reason is because, again, you would get more understanding on this in our subsequent sessions. But just to give you a quick understanding, SAP is changing their database and landscape. It's migrating from it's changed its architecture. It's moving from an R3 kind of an architecture onto uh, S4 HANA. You all must have heard about what is S4 HANA, but you must have at least heard the term. But even if you have not, no worries about that. We would be talking about that as well. And SAP is going to stop supporting ECC, which is the enterprise centric component, uh, from 2027 onwards. So all the major companies, all the Fortune 500 companies that have implemented SAP and are on ECC are forced to migrate to S4 HANA. And in the market today, the available resources are way less compared to what the demand is going to be like. So from the year 2025 onwards till the year 2032, it's going to be the year of SAP consultants. And that is when we all can make it really, really big. If we have the right kind of skill set, if we have the right kind of exposure, if we are learning right, then we can really make it big between the years 2025 to 2032. Why I'm saying 2025 and 2032? How am I getting these numbers? So basically, like I said earlier, 2027 is the year when SAP would stop supporting ECC for all the customers except for SAP's premium customers. So for SAP premium customers, the support would be extended till the year 2030. But for all the other customers, it would stop on 2027. So it is migrating SAP from ECC to S4 is not something that will happen in 1 month or 6 months. It can take anywhere between 1 year to 3 years, depending upon what version the current companies are. So considering that migrating to S4 takes 1 year to 3 years, from starting from 2025, most companies have laid their roadmap to start their migration. And a lot of them have already started their migration, and a lot more have planned their migrations, and it is in their roadmap starting from 2025. So it's going to be a very, very, very busy schedule from 2025 onwards, all the way through 2032, when all the premium customers would have completed migrating onto SAP. So if you ask me, what about 2032? Is there not going to be any future for us? Then 2032 is already 8 years down the lane, and we never know what holds in store after 2032. And even being optimistic, all the companies that have migrated would still need SAP consultants to support the processes that we've implemented for them. Once they're new on S4, they would need consultants to support those processes as well. So that's why I just wanted to highlight that this is the right time uh, to make a decision to switch into SAP for those who are not in SAP already. All right, having said that, let's move on to the demo. I will start with creating a quotation. So in SAP, we have something called as transaction code. We're going to have a session on how to navigate on SAP. So I will not waste time on showing you how to navigate that. But if you do not know, if you're new to SAP, do not worry and rest assured that there's going to be a class on how to navigate. So we have something called as transaction codes in SAP. So there's two different ways we can go to a particular screen. So if I have to create a quotation, I can either come here, I can go here, find this quotation and click on this create, or I can enter this particular code VA21 here in this search bar that you see. I can enter so this 4-digit code is called as transaction code. It doesn't have to be only 4 digits. It can be, it starts with 4 digits and it can be more than 4 digits as well. There's no limitation on that. But predominantly, most of the SD transactions are all 4 digits. Okay, so I can either double click on this or I can enter VA21 here and click enter. So when I click enter, I get this particular screen, which is to create quotations. So here we need to enter what is my quotation document type. Now, what is a document type? Again, we will speak about this in subsequent classes, but for now, just understand that this is a configuration that will decide how my quotation has to be created. All right. And then we have organizational elements here. Now, again, what is a sales organization, distribution channel, division? We will talk in depth about all of these in subsequent classes. But for now, just understand that these are organization elements within my enterprise or within my enterprise. Okay, so I'm creating a quotation here. I can either, if I know my customer code, I can enter the customer code, or I can search. SAP gives me an option to search. I can click here, I can enter. So there's different match codes that I can give to search for a particular customer. If I want to search by search term or a particular country, postal code, city, or if I know the name of the customer, I can search by the name of the customer. If I know the customer code, I can search by it. So there's different options here that SAP provides, and I can search by any of these match codes. All right. So for now, since I know the code, I'm just entering the code, and here I'm just giving a customer reference. So this is basically a reference number. So whenever you call a customer care, you're given a case reference number or something like that, right? So this is something similar to that, where I'm entering a customer's reference, an inquiry number, or a customer's purchase order number, and things like that. Okay, so once I enter that, I key in my material code. Again, here I can search for the materials that I want, or I can enter the material code directly. I'm entering the quantity and clicking on enter. And when I click enter, I go to my pricing. So what all of these tabs are, again, we're going to speak in detail when we get into these sessions. Otherwise, we will not be able to end the demo class. Okay, so I'm just giving a price of 100 USD here for this particular quotation. And I'm given one piece of this, and I'm giving a valid up to date. So this quotation I'm saying is valid for the next 1 week. And SAP gives me an option to check if the document is complete or not. Okay, so all the required data is entered within the quotation. Okay, if I would not have entered this, okay, let's say I did not enter that, and I click on this, SAP will tell me you did not enter the quotation valid to. Now, how does SAP know what are the different fields it should consider for this? That is again going to be configuration, which we will speak in our subsequent classes. Okay, so now that I've entered the valid to, the document is complete and I'm saving my quotation. So SAP has generated the quotation number to followed by zeros and 67. So I'm copying my quotation number. So this quotation goes as a either as an email or a print or an EDI to a customer. So the customer will go through this. So, okay, I don't know if we have configured the output for this. Let me check. Okay, so okay, we don't have this configured in a proper way. So anyways, I will move on. Um, so this comes as a print or an email or an EDI to the customer, which the customer can refer. And once the customer is in agreement with the pricing, with the terms, I'm telling here the customer that I will be delivering this product on 13th of September. Today is 7th of September, but I'm not able to deliver this on 7th of September. I'm telling him I will deliver this on 13th of September. Now, how did SAP come up with this date? So this is coming up based on a concept called as delivery scheduling and availability check. Okay, the system does an availability check, and I will show that in the next screen, how it is doing and coming up with that date. All right, so now that I have my quotation, I'm creating my sales order. The transaction code for sales order is VA01. I can either type it directly or I can come here, go to orders, and we click on this VA01, create. Okay, and my sales order document type is DGS. Again, I'm giving the same organization elements. I can go here and directly create the order, or I want to create it in reference to a quotation. So I'm clicking here as create with reference. I will go to the quotations tab. I will give the quotation number, and I can select if there are multiple products. The customer says, I don't want all the products, but I want only the first product. So I can select only the product that I want. And the customer says, you've raised the quotation for 100 quantity, but I need it only for one quantity. So I can enter the quantity also here and say copy. So when I say copy, everything from the quotation is copied here as it is. I don't have to make any changes. My price is copied. My customer code is copied. My material is copied. The quantity is copied. From what plant it has to be delivered, that is copied. You can see the plant is copied here. The amount is copied. So all the parameters get determined from the quotation. And then I save my sales order. Oh, and I just need to give a customer PO number and giving an order reason. Maybe just say a sales activity. And my sales order is saved. So my sales order number is 3627. So I'm creating my delivery document to this. So there are two ways I can create directly from here. I can click on deliver, or I can go to VL01N transaction, key in the shipping point, the date, and the order. So if you see earlier screen, when I click on enter, it's saying no schedule lines, because in the sales order, we said we're delivering this on 13th. So it will not allow me to deliver today. So since 13th is when I have confirmed to the customer that I will deliver, it allows me to create the delivery document on 13th. So this is how my delivery document looks like. Here, there are different parameters we need to take care of. What is the storage location? I need to pick my quantity. So if you think about a typical warehouse, a warehouse is a huge area where I have different subdivisions within it. I have a particular location where I keep my raw materials, a particular location where I keep my finished goods. And within that, again, I can have subdivision. I can say storage location 1 is for cold storage products. Storage location 2 is for non-cold storage products. Storage location 3 is for fragile items. So I can have different locations. So on what basis we have to decide these is again going to be a design that we as consultants need to decide and determine when we're doing the configuration of the enterprise organization structure, which again we will talk about in detail when we talk about the configurations. So here I'm giving the picked quantity, and I'm clicking on post goods issue. Now, what is post goods issue? Uh, this is again a typical SAP terminology. which tells me, which is an activity where four different things happen. The inventory ownership is transferred from the organization to the customer. It updates my quantity in the warehouse. It updates my inventory value along with the quantity. It updates my due lists for generating my billing document. Um, and it closes my delivery document. So, there are different activities that happen when I do PGI. All right. So now this is my delivery document 8002428. So in reference to this billing document, I'm going to create a invoice. All right. So this is my invoice for $100 to this particular customer, a test company in Sao Paulo in USA. So I save this and my invoice document is created. All right. So this will end. So this creates an accounting document where it will show me uh, what the customer needs to pay, how much we need to recover from him. So this is how an accounting document looks like. So this tells me that the customer needs to pay me $100, and this is going to be credited to my revenue account. So what are revenue accounts? What is credits? What is debits? We will talk about all of these as well when we come to our billing sessions during our training. So with this, I complete my demo on the OTC flow. So do we have any questions? Okay, so before I see that there's no questions. Now let me walk you through the course curriculum. Okay, sharing my screen back. So this is how the curriculum looks like. So whatever training we're going to give you is going to be on S4 HANA. It's not going to be on ECC. So like I said, this is the current architecture of SAP, which is the S4 HANA. And this is the latest edition of SAP. So we will give you an introduction. Uh, we just spoke on a very, very superficial level of what is ERP and what is SAP. So we will talk in much more detail about what ERP is, what SAP is, what is an OTC cycle. From a theoretical point of view, we will explain all of this on the introduction part. And then we would move on to the actual hands-on sessions where we will speak about the enterprise structure. What is an enterprise structure? Why do we need an enterprise structure? How do we design an enterprise structure? How do we take decisions on what my enterprise structure has to be? We're going to talk about all of that in this particular concept. Then once we talk about enterprise structure, we would move on to master data configurations. So there's different types of master data within SD. So there are 8 different types of master data. So we will be covering all of them. Certain things have already been merged into these, but we will split these further and we will talk about those as well. So when we talk about customer master, we will not just talk about customer master, but we will also talk about customer material info record, and so on and so forth. Then the fourth topic is sales documents. So when we saw the demo, we saw the quotation type, right? If I go back here, we saw this quotation type QT. What is this QT? When we go to create sales order, we saw this order type ZGS. What is ZGS? Why do we need to create that? So all of those we would talk about in these sales documents. And we also saw that the quotation got copied into my sales order. So that is what is copy control, how those copy controls are happening. And then we spoke about the schedule line, how we need to configure them, how they get determined. So that is what we will cover in this particular topic. Okay, I've already spoke about sales document types. We would also be covering the contract processing. What are the different types of contracts, how they differ between each other, and how we need to maintain them within SAP is something we will be covering. and basic functions. We will be covering the incompletion log procedure, the material determination, material listing and exclusion, free goods, partner determination, output, text determination. All of these will be covered as part of the basic functions course. And availability check is also part of basic functions, but we wanted to put it as a separate concept because it's a very important and a very big topic as well. So we'll be covering the available to promise and transfer of requirements. Then we also will be covering the logistic execution. Logistic execution is a very broad umbrella. So this covers the entire supply chain process, but we will not be covering the entire supply chain because supply chain includes warehouse management solutions, it includes transportation management solutions, and it includes the delivery processing within SD. So from an SD's purview, only delivery falls under SAP SD module. So we will be covering the SD relevant topics of logistic execution. And then we will talk about different blocks and route determination, which is again part of the logistic execution module within SAP SD. And moving on, we have the billing, which is the final module of SD or final submodule within SAP SD. We will be covering the different processes within billing. And finally, we will talk about pricing and revenue account determination. So I always keep saying in all of my trainings that pricing is considered to be the heart of SAP SD. And we take pride in our expertise in pricing. You can refer to our previous batches or previous trainings as well. And like Parminder was saying, on pricing alone, we spend about 7 to 8 hours minimum. And I can bet that it's very rare to find anyone give such kind of an extensive training on this particular module. We will be going in complete details of this, and if you're confident in pricing, SAP SD will be like a piece of cake. So I would go on to make that bold statement, but at the same time, if the understanding for pricing is not correct, SAP will be like Greek and Latin. So this is a very, very, very important sub-module of SAP SD, and it is referred to as the heart of SAP SD. So this is going to be our course curriculum for the upcoming training. So with this, I end my demo. Do you have any questions that anybody would like to ask? Okay, I mean, is everyone able to hear? I mean, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I was asking if configurations and end-to-end transactions will be included in the course or no,
Yes.
with also with documentation.
Yes.
Because when the course ends, I might watch the videos, but I would like to have the documentations with me whenever I can.
So whatever will be presented during the sessions will be shared with you.
Okay, but configurations are there.
We will be, I mean, the configurations will be explained in detail in the session. So whatever sessions are taken on every configuration, you will anyways have the video. So you can always refer. So we will be going in a very detailed level. At a field level is what we're going to explain for most of the concepts. So that should make it easy for you. And wherever required, we will be giving you configuration related notes as well. So that can also be referred for your future references. Does it answer your question? Okay, any more questions that anybody has?
Hi, Darren. This is Adanu. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, you can ask one by one.
Yeah, please go ahead. Whoever wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, I have one question. So, I have completed SAP SD training, and what should I do next? Which module should be good for me?
So are you
I
already
have,
working as an SAP SD consultant?
yes, I have 6.5 years of experience, and I'm working as a SAP SD consultant for whole 6.5 years.
Mhm. Okay, so there's multiple. Okay, the baseline, the guideline is always to gain mastery in one particular module. Once you gain mastery in one particular module, it is easy for you to learn any secondary module. There are multiple secondary modules that you can pick up. There are niche modules as well that you can pick up. It purely depends on your interest. Like I said, SD is a very core module, and if you are interested to learning niche modules, you could focus on transportation management. You could focus on AATP, which is now evolving, and there's a lot of customers that are sitting up and watching this particular module and are trying to implement this, um, which is advanced available to promise. So that's another option you have as a niche module for after SAP SD. But if you want to learn secondary core modules, you could also learn which is again very closely tied to SD. I have personally worked on project systems as well, but to work on project systems, you need to have good understanding on finance modules. But like I said, it purely depends on your interest, whether you want to learn TM or AATP or or EWM for that matter of fact. Uh, that's something you would have to see where your expertise lies after 6.5 years of experience in SD, and then take a call.
Hi, Rohan. This is Atanu. So, if you just could please share some of your success story in consolidating, as you mentioned, in Volvo, right?
Mhm.
Consolidating their different models or what?
No, they had different softwares that they were using.
Uh-huh.
So those softwares were consolidated. So they had a different tool for procurement. They had a different tool for finance. They had a different tool for doing their picking and packing. They had a different tool for shipping. They had a different tool for printing. So all of these tools were merged into one single SAP package. So SAP is capable of doing all of these. So when we talk about what is ERP, what is SAP in our subsequent sessions, we will be explaining all of these in detail.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, all right. Any other questions? Okay, in the chat.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah,
Hello, Rohan.
yeah. Please tell me.
Yeah, my name is Umesh. Okay. Actually, I have like a 10, yeah, almost 10 years dynamic in this particular sales profile. I have worked different domain like ERP and SAP also, but only for sales profile for
Mhm.
B2P and corporate sale. So, for SAP SD are good for me or other module for going to for
If you
choice.
worked, if you worked as, I mean, in the sales domain, SAP SD is the right module to start with. And let me tell you, SD is one of, there are two modules within SAP which are considered as evergreen modules. One is finance, the other is SD. So these two modules are the only modules that you can consider to be as evergreen. And third, normally people say materials management, but no matter where you go, no matter what happens, sales can never stop. And finance, like, it is always the heart of a particular organization. So these two are always considered as evergreen modules. So you don't have to have any inhibitions. And like Parminder was also saying, getting a break as a fresher in SAP is really tough. But once you get a break in SAP, you can consider your life to be set. It's I would go on to say that if you have the right understanding, if you have a good business understanding, if you're able to be curious and think why a particular business is running this particular way, SAP is just a tool. It becomes a cakewalk for you. Okay, any other questions?
Then you can unmute yourself and ask question.
Hi, Rohan. This is Sada.
Oh, good.
Yes, Sada, please tell me.
Hello.
Yes, Sada,
Yeah.
please.
So I have a quick question. I mean, regarding the curriculum which is about to start, which Bhupender has posted. I mean, the links there. So if just wanted to detail out, I mean, what are the packages, I mean, which are which consist, I mean, this bundle consists of all the packages which Parminder has shared with us in the beginning, or it's just a specific type of package?
Okay, I will let Bhupender answer that. Bhupender, do you want to take this question?
Yes, sir. Yeah, in end of session, I will show you like bundle. Just if you have like any related topic question, you can ask from Rohan. After that, I will show you like schedule and our bundle, you know, what you will get in bundle.
Great. Sada, that should answer your question. So Bhupender will show that short. But if you have any other questions related to the demo or the SD clarifications, you can feel free to go ahead and ask me or any career guidance. I could help you with that.
Okay, I have a question, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you so much for the session. My question is, in this training, are we going to have an opportunity to write functional specification documents and even the logics and see how that works in real time?
Okay. We are going to cover the basic standard. I mean, we're going to cover all the standard configurations and concepts. We will touch upon what the different enhancements are, but we will not, I mean, we can also tell you how functional specifications can be written, but it's not going to be, I mean, what example do we take to write a functional specification, you know, as part of the course? So if you have an example, maybe one or two, we can talk at the end of the course. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be any specific session on functional specifications and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Rohan, I have a question. I have taken a class from you from last session for the pricing.
I'm sorry, Kavita, your voice is not very clear. Could you say that again?
Yeah, Rohan, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I took a class last session, pricing from you. So it was a good class, and I want to continue this coming class. But I wanted to check what are the technical, like a table maintenance or RFC creation or moving a TR to another. So do you cover all those or not?
Yes. So when you do a configuration, how a TR would be created, how the TR would be used to migrate changes from one environment to another. So we will cover that as part of the course.
And RFC creation from
RFC creation is not part of SD module. So that's basically part of basis module. So it's basis consultants that it's part of basis module on how RFC connections are created. But if time permits, I can take a session on interfaces, how interfaces work. I will not promise, but if we have time, I can take that. Again, like I said, that is not part of SD, but as an additional concept. And if everyone is able to grasp and interested, then we can go ahead.
Okay. Perfect. And table maintenance, like a Z table maintenance from lower environment to moving to upper environment, is that you cover?
Table maintenance is something which is part of ABAP. So if you're talking about table maintenance generator, that is part of ABAP. And data maintenance is not migrated from one system to another. We normally maintain data individually in each systems.
So that you cover, right? Like example, the quality development system to moving to quality system. It's not the data migration, but I want to maintain the same data what we have in the lower system. Do you show that how we can maintain it?
Like I said, again, if you're talking about custom table maintenance, that is client specific. It is not generic. So you don't transfer data from one landscape to another or from one system to another. It has to be maintained individually. If you want to do an upload of data, then that is a different thing. If you're talking about how do I do when we do a cutover, how we upload data as part of cutover, that is again a separate concept. I will have to check with Bhupender and Parminder if we are including that as part of this course. So I don't have an answer on this right now. Maybe this can be answered as a follow-up. I can take this as a follow-up question and check and get back on that.
Yeah, Rohan, we just mainly focus on that course curriculum which we have, na? Because we are promising 40 plus hours and there's like so many fresher also there and want to start career. If you want like more about SD like Fury role and all, then you need to do like a excellence course. In that we cover like Fury part and conversion and all.
Yeah, that's fine. But in a client place, when you go, they are expecting all these.
Yeah, you can go through our course curriculum, and after that, if you can email us, we will check with Parminder and
Okay.
reply back to you. That is part of our course or not. Huh?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, like so just to summarize for others as well. So these are all advanced concepts and advanced topics. And what we are doing as part of this course is a mastery course. So we have two different types of courses, mastery and excellence, which Parminder said at the start of this session. And mastery session is where we would cover all the basic core functionalities of SD. And excellence is going to be a concept where we will cover all the advanced topics, like how we do our all data migrations and interfaces and things like that will all be covered as part of that particular course. But what we're talking about right now is the mastery course.
Yeah, so this is our time. I'm just showing you our schedule for this batch. This is a schedule of this batch. We have like going to start from 14th of September. Okay, and we have session 7 p.m. This is SAP workshop. In that we cover like mainly basic things of SAP, and after that SAP navigation on 15th September. Okay, we have next Saturday, Sunday these two topic sessions, and after that we have regular session every Saturday, Sunday 7 p.m. IST. This is fixed SAP SD like schedule. Okay, this is only for SAP SD, not for another modules. Okay, and for SAP bundle, so we have provided one link of SAP bundle, mastery bundle. If you open that, you just reach out in this page. There's like this is our course curriculum. If you click on that, you will reach out on our course curriculum. Okay, and you can see what we covered in this course. All details are here. Okay, and what we will get. So you will get in this. This is our bundle content. So you will get in step of circle in this like Parminder has said, there's like so many modules overview sessions are there. Job and mastery session you will get 3 months server access included in that for practice. There's like if you want to do certification exam for certification preparations, mock test there, SD interview questions you will get, core content you will get for mastery SAP SD recorded, and gamifier. In gamifier you will get live sessions, which we are starting as of now, and mentorship and mock interview. You can book your mentorship program from here and also mock interview. And after that, we have SD content library. In that, you will get like mind maps and our all new documents which we are uploading in few months. And also in the here one mastering CV creation, SAP resume building. Once you enroll, you need to do first this course, SAP in nutshell. You will get like 3 to 4 basic sessions without any systems. You can do your own these things. This is prerequisites. So if you have any questions about our course, you can ask. If you have any doubts about bundle, I will let you know. Anyone have any question? Yeah, Kavita. Now you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, question. Parminder was showing us like internship. So once we
Your
sign up
voice is breaking for me.
so the Parminder was saying that internship program, it's
Yeah.
if you sign up for
Internship program you will get like with 2 bundles. If you buy 2 bundles like SAP SD Mastery plus SAP SD Excellence, that time you will get the internship program as a complimentary.
Okay, so I have a mastery right now. So I want to do once I complete my mastery and the practice, then I want to sign up for excellence.
Yeah,
So,
when you buy
sorry.
excellence, automatically you are able to do internship. But as per Parminder said, 20 hour per week you need to spend on that internship. If you promise that, you can do internship as well.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone has any another question?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, hi. So, I have a question. I'm completely fresher into this, so I want to know. So, I want to join this mastery bundle. This is for the beginner, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So,
This is for beginner also, and if anyone has like end user experience or anyone has like any ERP tools experience in SD, they can do this course.
okay. So, what will be the course duration and how much does it cost? Where will I get this information?
Yeah, 40 plus hours course duration, and we have shared link in chat box. If you click on that, the same page is open front of you, and here's all details are here. You can see. You can save that link because after end of this meeting, you unable to do yeah, then you need to drop a email or an a WhatsApp message on us on our sporting to our sporting. We will reply to you. Anyone has any another doubt about course curriculum and all? Okay, so no one any another doubt. So I'm ending today's sessions. So we will meet in next session. Thank you, Rohan, for joining.
Thanks, Bhupender. Thanks everyone for your patience and staying back late.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Yes.